Hidden error. Usage of nationality is not recognized. Goran Bregović is a Yugoslav musician and one of the most internationally known modern musicians and composers of the Balkans. He left Bosnia and Herzegovina before the Bosnian War. Recently, he announced his official return to Sarajevo and set up a Roma education foundation. Bregović has composed for such varied artists as Iggy Pop and Cesaria Evora. He rose to fame playing guitar with his rock band By Jello Dugme. Among his better-known scores are three of Emir Kusturica's films. Musical style. Bregović's compositions, extending Balkan musical inspirations to innovative extremes, draw upon European classicism and Balkan rhythms. Bregović's music carries Bosnian, Bulgarian, Croatian, Greek, Romanian, Serbian and Turkish themes and is a fusion of popular music with traditional polyphonic music from the Balkans, tango, and brass bands. Early life and career. Born in Sarajevo, PR, Bosnia-Herzegovina, FPR Yugoslavia to a Croat father Franjo Bregović and Serb mother Borka Perisic, Goran grew up with an older sister Dajana and a younger brother Predrag. Their father was from Croatian Zagorje, specifically Sveta Peter Cvr's tech village near Krasevci, while their mother was born in Virovitica to parents that shortly before her birth arrived in the nearby village of Semenica, settling there from the village of Kazanci near Garko in eastern Herzegovina. Her father, Goran's maternal grandfather, fought in the Serbian army at the Thessaloniki front during World War I and as a reward received land in Slavonia where he soon moved his family. Goran's parents met shortly after the end of World War II in Virovitica where his mother Borka lived and his father Franjo attended a Yugoslav People's Army military school. Franjo Bregović soon got his first job, teaching ballistics at a Sarajevo military school, so the family moved there. Goran, their second child, was born in 1950. Goran was 10 years old when his parents divorced. In later interviews he mentioned his father's alcoholism as the reason for the breakdown of his parents' marriage. Soon after the split, his father moved to Livna, taking Goran's younger brother Predrag with him while Goran remained living with his mother in Sarajevo, visiting his father and brother every summer in Livna. Their father soon retired and eventually moved back to his home village in Zagorje while Goran's brother Predrag later moved back to Sarajevo for university studies. Goran played violin in a music school. However, deemed untalented, he was thrown out during second grade. His musical education was thus reduced to what his friend taught him until Goran's mother bought him his first guitar in his early teens. Bregović wanted to enroll in a fine arts high school, but his aunt told his mother that it was supposedly full of homosexuals, which precipitated his mother's decision to send him to a technical school. As a compromise for not getting his way, she allowed him to grow his hair long. Upon entering high school, Goran joined the school band Izzo Hips where he began on bass guitar. Soon, however, he was kicked out of that school too. Bregović then entered grammar school and its school band Bestige. When he was 16, his mother left him and moved to the coast, meaning that other than having a few relatives to rely on, he mostly had to take care of himself. He did that by playing folk music in a kafana in Konjic, working on construction sites, and selling newspapers. Spotting him at a Bestige gig in 1969, Željko Babić invited 18-year-old Bregović to play bass guitar in his band Codex I, which Goran gladly accepted. Codex I shifted setup so Bregović moved from bass to lead guitar, resulting in Codex I having the following lineup during summer 1970. Goran Bregović, Željko Babić, Zoran Rezic and Milik Vukasinović. All of them would eventually become members of By Jello Dugme at some point in the future. At the time, they were largely influenced by Led Zeppelin and Black Sabbath. During the fall of 1970, this resulted in departure of Željko Babić, who got phased out of the band. At the end of the year, Goran's mother and Zoran's brother arrived in Naples and took them back to Sarajevo. Then, in the autumn of 1971, Goran enrolled at the University of Sarajevo's Faculty of Philosophy, studying philosophy and sociology. He soon quit, however. At the same time, Milik Vukasinović left for London, so Bregović formed a band with Nuno Arnautalic called Jutro, which Bregović soon joined as well. Over the next few years, the band changed lineups frequently, and on the 1st of January 1974 modified its name to Bijelo Dugme. Bijelo Dugme. From 1974 until 1989, Bregović played lead guitar and was the main creative force behind Bijelo Dugme. For years they stood as one of the most popular bands in SFR Yugoslavia. Solo career. At the time Bijelo Dugme was falling apart, Goran entered the world of film music. His first project was Emir Kusturica's Time of the Gypsies. This turned out to be a great success. Goran and Emir's collaboration continued, and Goran composed music for Emir's next film Arizona Dream. During the war in Bosnia and Herzegovina, Goran lived in Paris, but he also lived in Belgrade. His next major project, music for Patrice Chero's Queen Margot, was a great success as well, and as a result, the film won 2 awards on the 1994 Cannes Film Festival. The next year's Golden Palm Award went to Underground, for which Goran Bregović composed the music. In 1997, he worked with Turkish singer Sezen Aksu onto her album Jugan ve Senes. After that album, he continued making composite albums with other musicians that were based on his music and singers' lyrics. He made an album with George Delaras in 1999 named Thessaloniki, Yanina with 2 canvas shoes. In the same year, Bregović recorded an album called Kaja I Bregović with popular Polish singer Kaja, which sold over 700,000 copies in Poland. In 2001, he recorded another album with another Polish singer, Krzysztof Krawczyk, titled Daj mi drogi I. In 2005, Bregović took part in 3 large farewell concerts of Bijelo Dugme. A number of works created by Bregović can be heard on the soundtrack to the 2006 film Borat. Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan. Most notably, Third Evden. The film itself actually features more Bregović samples than the soundtrack. 2 musical numbers by Bregović, Ni Siam Kurvtuksijam Prostitutka, and Gas, were featured in the soundtrack of the 2012 Brazilian novella, Salve Jorge, on the television network Rede Globo. Weddings and Funerals Orchestra. Bregović performs with a large ensemble of musicians. A brass band, bagpipes, a string ensemble, a tuxedo-clad all-male choir from Belgrade, women wearing traditional Bulgarian costumes, and Roma singers make up his 40-piece band and orchestra. Since 1998, Bregović has been performing his music mainly in the form of concerts all over the world with his Weddings and Funerals Orchestra. This consists of 10 people or 37. The small orchestra consists of Alen Adamović, Bokan Stanković, Dalibor Lukic, Stojan Dimov, Aleksandar Rajković, Milos Mihailović, Dejan Managodic and Goran himself. The uniqueness of the orchestra comes from the exceptional voice of solo singer Vaska Jankovska and backup Bulgarian singers Daniela Radkova Alexandrova and Ludmila Radkova Trakova. The large orchestra usually has singers from the Belgrade Orthodox male choir, string performers from Poland, or from the country in which they perform, as well as other local performers. In 2013, as part of his Asia-Pacific tour, Bregović performed with a string quartet, a male choir, Bulgarian singers and half of a brass band. The other part of the brass band, including bass and percussions, were being played from his computer. Eurovision. During the Eurovision 2008 final in Belgrade Arena, Serbia, he had a small concert. He also composed the Serbian entry for the Eurovision Song Contest 2010, O Voja Balkan, sung by Milan Stankovic. Personal. In 1993, Bregović married his longtime girlfriend Zuzana Suzuka. The wedding ceremony held in Paris featured film director Emir Kusturica as the groom's best man and longtime Bijello Dugme backing vocal. Emila Sulejmanović is the bridesmaid of honor. The couple has 3 daughters, Ima, Una, and Lulu. Bregović owns real estate properties all over the world, but spends most of his time between Belgrade, where most of his musical collaborators reside, and Paris, where his spouse lives with their 3 daughters. He also has a daughter named Zelika who gave birth to Goran's granddaughter, Bianca. He has a brother named Predrag who lives in New York City, and a sister, Dajana, who lives in Split. On the 12th of June 2008, Bregović injured his spine, falling from a tree. He fell 4 meters from a cherry tree in the garden of his home in Senjak, a Belgrade district, breaking vertebrae. However, according to the doctors, his condition was stable without neurological complications. After surgery, he made a quick recovery, and on the 8th of July and the 9th of July, he held 2 big concerts in New York City, where for more than 2 hours each night, he proved his performance skills had not suffered from the accident. Views. Bregović prefers to avoid delving into politics. In 2009, he said, Yugoslavia is the intersection of so many worlds. Orthodox, Catholic, Muslim. With music, I don't have to represent anyone, except myself, because I speak the first language of the world, the one everyone understands. Music. In March 2015, Bregović performed in a concert in Crimea, which was annexed by Russia the previous year. The following month, the Life Festival in Oswiecim, Poland cancelled an appearance by Bregović, saying that his statements were contrary to the values cherished by the Life Festival founders. List of film scores. 1977 Butterfly Cloud, directed by Zdravko Randić. 1979 Personal Affairs, directed by Alexander Mandic. 1988 Time of the Gypsies, directed by Emir Kusturica. 1989 Kuduz, directed by Adam Ikenovich. 1990 Silent Gunpowder, directed by Barudan Sengic. 1991 The Serbian Girl, directed by Peter Sayre. 1991 The Little One, directed by Predrag Antonijević. 1991 Karuga, directed by Rajka Grlic. 1993 Arizona Dream, directed by Emir Kusturica. 1993 Toxic Affair, directed by Filomena Esposito. 1993 La Nuit Sacrée, directed by Nicolas Klotz. 1993 Le Nombre du Monde, directed by Ariel Zaytoun. 1993 Kicker, directed by Pedro Almodovar. 1994 Soundtrack for La Reine Margot, directed by Patrice Chero. 1995 Underground, directed by Emir Kusturica. 1997 Music for Weddings and Funerals, directed by Arnie Straumi. 1997 A Chef in Love, directed by Nana Georgiadze. 1997 The Serpent's Kiss, directed by Philippe Rousselet. 1997 XXL, directed by Ariel Zaytoun. 1998 Train de Vie, directed by Radu Mihailianu. 1999 The Lost Son, directed by Chris Menges. 1999 Tuvalu, directed by Vlyhelma. 1999 Operation Samum, directed by Vladislav Porzikovsky. 2000 to 27 Missing Kisses, directed by Nana Georgiadze. 2000 Jali Jasno Pride Jatelju, directed by Dejan Akimović. 2005 The Turkish Gambit, directed by Dejan Fiziev. 2005 I Giorni dell'Abbandono, directed by Roberto Fenza. 2006 Caraula, directed by Rajka Grlic. 2006 La Liva de Vatanen, directed by Marc Riviere. 2006 Borat, Cultural Learnings of America for Make Benefit Glorious Nation of Kazakhstan. 2007 Fly by Rosnant, directed by Jackie Stoe Acute V. 2008 Mustafa, directed by Kandunda. 2011 Baikonur, directed by Vihelma. Discography. With Bijello Dugmi original movies soundtracks. Not all his soundtracks compositions are commercially available. 1989. Kiddos. 1989. Time of the Gypsies. 1993. Toxic Affair. 1993. Arizona Dream. 1994. La Reine Margot. 1995. Underground. 1995. A Chef in Love. 2000. Tuvalu avec Jürgen Canepa. 2005. I Giorni dell'Abbandono with Carmen Consola. 2006. La Liva de Vatanen. 2008. Mustafa. Compilations. His compilations include soundtracks from different works. 1996. P.S. 1998. Edelazi. 1999. Magic Book. 2000. Songbook. 2000. Music for Films. 2009. Welcome to Bregović. Other albums. 1976. Goran Bregović. 1991. Paraditica with Alkestis Protop Salti. 1997. Jugan V. Senes with Cezanne Aksu. 1997. Thessaloniki, Yanina with Two Canvas Shoes with George Delaras. 1998. Silence of the Balkans, Live in Thessaloniki. 1999. Kaya Bregović with Kaya. 2000. Balkanica with Athens Symphony Orchestra. 2001. Chris and Goran with Christoph Krawczyk. 2002. Tales and Songs from Weddings and Funerals. 2007. Carmen with a Happy End. 2009. Alcohol, Slivovica and Champagne. 2012. Edelazi X4. 2012. Champagne for Gypsies. Honors and Awards. Albania. On the 31st of June 2006 he received a copy of the Key of the City of Tirana by Edi Rama on the occasion of his visit to Albania.